Pupco Studios in Oklahoma City. This is an OSU update with Kyle Fredrickson. I'm Jenny Carlson. Kyle, as Oklahoma State prepares to go to Kansas for its first road game, some attention turned toward the north side of our borders and the players that might be up there. Oklahoma State's had some decent luck with getting players out of Kansas on recruiting, and we know there's some talent up there. I mean, you look south to OU and Blake Bell's a Kansan, some guys there. So what inroads have they made, and how have they made those inroads up north in Kansas?
Right, and it's been an area of emphasis for OSU over the past few years because I think it's been well documented at this point that obviously Texas has been OSU's main recruiting grounds. I mean, there's almost 70 players from the Lone Star State on OSU's roster. But the problem is that there's a few other dozen teams out there who can make the same claim. And so yesterday, Mike Gundy kind of explained that because Texas is a little bit over-recruited at times, that it makes even more sense for OSU to go up to Kansas. And so some of those pipelines that you had talked about have been established over the past few years because the Cowboys feel like there's some hidden gems up there that don't get as heavily recruited. And a lot of that has to do with geography. For OSU, it's a real quick drive up to Wichita, but for other schools across the nation, if you're going to fly in, usually you're going to go into the Kansas City airport, but you're pretty much in Missouri at that point. Flying into Wichita is a little bit more difficult, so you're not looking at the wealth of teams that are looking at a few star prospects and a lot of those guys who are very good but just don't maybe get the attention that they deserve.
Well, there are, as Mike Gundy said yesterday, a growing number of players in Kansas. As in Oklahoma, he sort of equated the two states and the high school scenes in both, producing more high-quality players. So who are some of those guys? We know Jarrell Morrow's already on campus, a four-star, I believe, that the Cowboys got. Who are maybe those next names we're going to see coming from Kansas?
Right, and there are a lot of guys that the Cowboys are targeting. Just looking through a few different recruiting services, there's at least 11 of them that there are at least potential prospects or they have been extended offers. You had mentioned Jarrell Morrow on the roster right now. There's also Trace Clark, a defensive end who turned down in-state offers to come to OSU. That says a lot. And then looking down the road, with these pipelines OSU has created, one guy that they're targeting for next year is a three-star JUCO wide receiver out of Garden City Community College. That's where Tyreek Hill came from, as well as a two-star safety out of Derby High School, and that's where Devin Hedgepeth, another cornerback that OSU had got from the Sunflower State, who obviously had suffered some career-ending injuries but was on pace to be a really good player. So, Mike Gundy really likes the reputation that OSU has in Kansas, and with the two games there this year with Kansas and Kansas State, he figures that they should be pretty successful.
All right, thanks, Kyle. Be sure to stay with the best coverage team anywhere at newsok.com and every day in the Oklahoman.